time does fly really fast indeed, since it's hard to believe that OnePlus has been in the smartphone game for about 10 years now. But the launch of the OG OnePlus One doesn't feel like it happened a decade ago. It stunned the world in 2014, but over the years, they've slowly launched stunted phones instead. Fast forward to January of 2024, and OnePlus launched this, the OnePlus 12. And this is a huge departure over their previous phones, since it packs in all the essential flagship features at a very competitive price. It feels like OnePlus is having the OnePlus One moment again, at least on paper. How good is this phone 7 months later? Is it still worth buying it even in the second half of 2024? I'm Jasim from Crazy Tech Boom Blast, and let's find that out. We get a bright red box with a bold 12 in the corner and a OnePlus X Hasselblad branding at the bottom. Slicing through the box with my trusty knife and peeling the protective wrap. The box is now ready to open. Opening up the box, we are greeted by a black never settle insert, which contains some paperwork, stickers, SIM ejector tool, and a nice matte green case. Moving on, we have the phone itself wrapped in a protective sheet of paper. Let's keep the phone aside for a moment. Opening up the second insert, we get a 100-watt SuperVOOC charger and a thick red USB A to C cable. In short, these are the box contents. The design of the phone is very ergonomic and comfortable, despite the 9.2mm thickness and 220g weight. And that heft is partly due to the Gorilla Glass 5 back and glossy aluminum frame. Compared to the sharp and pointy corners of the S24 Ultra, the OnePlus 12's curved edges and rounded corners are much more forgiving on your palms. It is also IP65 rated, which means it can survive a water jet spray and is dust tight. Oh, and the design of my flowy emerald variant feels different and stands out very well. On the display front, you get a large 6.8-inch display with a sharp Quad HD resolution and variable 120Hz refresh rate, thanks to the LTPO 3.0 tech. It is also plenty bright, hitting 1600 nits outdoors and 4500 nits for HDR content. The entire front of the phone is protected by Gorilla Glass Victus 2. Overall, from a multimedia perspective, it is very solid, thanks to the bright and colorful display and the stereo speakers, which get loud with good clarity and a decent amount of bass. Being a flagship killer, it is no surprise that the OnePlus 12 is powered by the latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, paired with 16GB of LPDDR5X RAM and 512GB of UFS 4.0 storage. I don't have to give an introduction about this chip, since this is one of the best chips available in the Android world for 2024. It performs like a champ and can handle all apps and games in the Play Store without a hitch, even including the unoptimized games like Call of Duty Warzone and Asphalt Legend Unite. The phone comes with Android 14 out of the box and is promised to get 4 years of software updates and 5 years of security patches. Oxygen OS 14 is pretty smooth and stable, with no bugs or glitches to be found yet. One weird annoyance, however, is the lack of a sound mode quick settings toggle. Sure, it's intuitive to use the alert slider, but having a software toggle can help with first-time OnePlus users like me to get used to the phone. The OnePlus 12's camera system finally doesn't feel like an afterthought after being neglected in their previous phones for so many years. You get a 50MP main camera, a 48MP ultra-wide with autofocus, which doubles up as a macro camera, and a 3x telephoto lens. The photos taken aren't as saturated like a Samsung, but is a lot more like the iPhone's processing, with natural and true-to-life colors. All the cameras take pretty good photos, with minimal color shift between the lenses. When it comes to video, the phone can record at up to 8K 24 FPS, and it can also do up to 4K 60 on the main camera, while the other cameras can record at up to 4K 30. The video quality is pretty good, not Samsung levels of good though. And on the front you get a 32 megapixel selfie camera. It's the Sony IMX615 to be exact. The colors are great, the skin tones are really good, especially in photo. In video, the skin tones aren't as accurate or as punchy as the ones coming from the photos of the selfie camera, but it's pretty good considering that OnePlus has usually struggled in this department, the camera front. It's actually a lot better than what I expected, and there is 4K 30 FPS in the front camera as well. That is also nice to have. How good is the audio quality? I have to check that after recording this video. It's pretty windy right now with a lot of crows cawing in the background and all that. So yeah. There's also a portrait mode for video. Works pretty well, at least from what I can see from the viewfinder and all. As you people can also clearly see, I'm just moving around just to see how well it works. It's not at the strongest blur level right now, it's at f2.8, but still pretty good, I'd say. The only thing you have to keep in mind is that you cannot use 4K while doing a portrait mode video, both from the front and rear, sadly. It's only limited to 1080p 30, but hey, the option exists and it's pretty good, so there's that as well. The under-display fingerprint scanner is placed comfortably high up instead of being stuffed at the bottom like the Poco X6 Pro. However, unlike that Poco phone, the fingerprint sensor isn't fast, and it takes a good 2 to 3 seconds to unlock the phone. There is face unlock, which is quicker but less secure. On the connectivity front, there is triple band Wi-Fi 7 along with Bluetooth 5.4 and a USB-C 3.2 port for fast data transfers and video out support. And finally, there is an IR sensor for controlling your home appliances. Powering the entire phone is a larger than average 5400 mAh battery, which is the other reason for the phone's 220-gram heft, and it charges at a very speedy 100 watts. The battery life is very good, and the standby drain is very minimal, losing anywhere between 1 to 3% overnight. OnePlus started off 2024 with a bang, thanks to this phone, and to no one's surprise, this phone still holds up amazingly well even after 8 months since its launch. That being said, the pricing varies from region to region. In the UAE, for example, the OnePlus 12 can be anywhere between 2300 to 2400 dirhams, which makes it an amazing option. That being said, in India, it costs about 60,000 rupees, which makes it slightly harder to recommend. The first and the most obvious alternative to the OnePlus 12 is the Xiaomi 14. The key difference between the two phones are the display size, battery, and the camera system. If you prefer a compact phone at the expense of some battery life, then the Xiaomi 14 is an appealing option. Even more so when you consider that the Xiaomi 14 is about 10,000 rupees cheaper in India, while it is roughly in the same price range as the OnePlus 12 in the UAE. Now yes, there is the Galaxy S24 as an alternative, but with only 8GB of RAM, 256GB of storage at max, a not so impressive camera system, and a measly 25-watt charging speed, while also being more expensive than the OnePlus 12, it is a much harder recommendation at face value. Of course, if you value the Galaxy AI features and 7 years of software support and the Samsung brand, then it can be an alternative. I don't have much hopes on the longevity of the Exynos 2400 though. The OnePlus 12 is a very solid phone offered at a very competitive price. This is one of the cheapest 8 Gen 3 phones yet, and combined with the solid specs all around, the OnePlus 12 is an easy recommendation in 2024. And that's it for this video. What do you think about the OnePlus 12? Let us know in the comment section below. This is Jasim signing off. Catch you in the next one.